This meeting to order of the City of Rio Grande City Commission. It is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021, and it is 6:01 p.m. And we're in Commission Chambers, City Hall 5332 East US Highway 83, Rio Grande City, Texas. Can we do there's an echo there, is that?
Yeah, it's not allowing me to. I did.
Mayor, can you go ahead and get
There, so you can jump in to come.
Or just mute it.
This time we'll have the invocation by Commissioner Garza, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ramirez.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to get together and take care of city business. We ask, Lord, that you bless everybody here present, that you bless those back at home. We thank you, Lord, for all the wonderful blessings that you have bestowed upon us and upon this city. We continue asking for your blessings, Lord, and your guidance. We ask that you bless our police officers, our soldiers in harm's way, and those here at home. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one nation.
Thank you, Commissioner Garza, Commissioner Ramirez. This time we have a roll call and finding of quorum. Ms. Garza,
Yes, Mayor Villarreal,
here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garza,
Here.
Commissioner Flores, she's here virtually, Commissioner Ramirez.
Here.
And Commissioner Escobedo.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Next item or business in order is item 1C, public forum. Do we have anyone signed up for public forum?
No, sir, no one signed up.
For the record, no one signed up for public forum. This time we'll have 1D, departmental reports.
Here, Mr. Aguia's got some plaques for some athletes that he wants to present.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Yeah.
I'm here to present 2 plaques to 2 of our athletes. I mean, they did a standing job summer with the TAF. I mean, Omar de la Garza, come up, please. Omar de la Garza, I mean, he went to state this year. He did real good. And Sarina Ramirez, she placed second in discus, and she won state in shot put, and she broke the record, the TAF record.
Wow, fantastic.
So
Very good.
I'm gonna present 2 plaques.
You all care to say a few words?
Coach Lopez?
She wrote something down for her. Good evening. I'd like to thank the city for having us today. It's always an honor being able to stand up here and present one of our athletes who have accomplished great things at big competitions. I'd like to thank the city for its support, including Mayor Villarreal, our athletic director and city commissioner Ray Ramirez, and the rest of the city commissioners. Also a special thank you to Frank Aguila and Eric Escamilla, who do a lot of the behind the scene things here at the Parks and Recreation Department. Serena Ramirez is a special athlete who has accomplished numerous things in her athletic career. Since she started competing in 2nd grade, Serena is a 2-time TAF Games of Texas champion and has numerous top 3 finishes in the throwing events. This past summer, she placed 1st in the shot put and claimed 2nd in the discus at the state championship. She was named in her overall high school career at Rio Grande City High School. Serena has claimed school records in both the shot put with a throw of 44 feet 2 inches and a discus with a throw of 144 feet 9 inches. Shot put record, like Mr. Yes said, was a TAF 18 and under state record. Last year, she placed third in both events in the UIL 5A Regional Championships, qualified to the state UIL 5A State Championships, where she placed fourth overall in the shot put and sixth in the discus. Mind you, that was her sophomore year. So she has a lot of, 2 more years to get better. After state competition, Serena's first words to me when she came up to me was, "Coach, I'm gonna come back next year and win it all." Serena is one of the most competitive athletes I've ever worked with. Her accomplishments are a direct reflection of her hard work and the passion that drives her. I know her teammates, her coaches, family, and the community are very proud of her. Congratulations, Serena.
Serena, would you care to say a few words?
From my classes. Hello, good afternoon. I would like to start off by thanking the city council members for inviting me to present these awards. I'd also like to thank Mayor Joel Villarreal, as well as a special thank you to Mr. Ray Ramirez, our athlete director. My accomplishments would not be possible without my family, who has always showed up and support me. Especially my mom, who picks me up and takes me to practice every day. She is truly my inspiration. I would also like to thank my coaches who have always pushed me to do my very best, especially Coach Lopez. Without Coach Lopez, there would be no Rio Grande City track team. The girls and I really appreciate and thank him for always supporting and pushing us to our fullest potential. It is an honor to represent Rio Grande City and Rio Grande City High School, and I hope to continue having all of y'all's support. Once again, thank you.
I would like to, Mr. De La Garza, he coached his son this year.
Hello. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank the Parks and Recs. The only reason is because during our registration, their registration was made on a Wednesday. We actually had the track meet on Thursday and Friday. They registered my boys and my little girl on the last minute. So I want to thank Mr. Eguia and Mr. Escamilla for registering our kids. Omar made out of 4 events, out of 5 events, he made it for 4 events, which is the 100-yard dash, the mile relay, the 4x1, and long jump. Once he went to state, he PR'd on all 3 events. We didn't run the mile relay, but he did his personal best at the state track meet. He's also a freshman at Agrilife High School and is a starting running back for the school, for high school as a freshman. He has right now just a little bit over 500 yards. He has a real good attitude, A and B honor roll. I also want to thank Mr. Ray Ramirez. He actually helped me out, or actually helped Omar out on long jump. Remember, he was our state, second in state. So in order for us to, and I thank you, Ray, for everything you did for my boy. Sure. I mean, I do appreciate what the city has done for, not just for our kids, but Sabrina also for breaking that state record at state. So like I said, even your programs are real good. My kids ran or played Pee Wee football. So the program that what you all have is excellent, and hopefully you all continue it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Omar, would you like to say a few words, Omar? No, okay, it's all right. Okay.
Get used to it, Omar. Come on.
You're gonna get all these awards, Omar. You're gonna have to start. You can come to the front here.
Oh, and Serena was named Region 2 Female Athlete of the Year.
Very good.
That's
Awesome.
the whole region.
Awesome.
Come to the front and we can take some have family. Their family too. Yes, it is. Very nice.
And then the mayor a little bit to your right.
Be centered.
And then, Mr. Garza, please. There we go, yeah. All right, 3, 2, cheese. One more. Sure, yes, absolutely. Okay, cheese, you gotta say cheese. Okay, 3, 2. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Here's the.
Congratulations. The good work, buddy. Cuídate.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Anything else on departmental reports?
I didn't ask anybody who's going to be a lengthy agenda.
All right, we'll give it.
You continue.
We have a long agenda. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next item is 2 consent agenda, and then we'll, item 2, consent agenda, items A, B, and C. Do you have any?
Mayor, I motion to approve. There are no objections, so I motion to approve items 2A, B, and C.
Have a motion to approve
I'll
items
second the motion.
2A, B, and C by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. If there's no objection, I would like to move item 8A, or move on to item 8A, discussion and possible action to appoint John Adam Pope IV as Municipal Prosecutor. We have Mr. Pope here, Mr. Judge Villarreal. Shall care to address the commission at this time?
Good evening, and thank you for inviting us to come here. I just want to say that in John Pope's tenure there, I can honestly say that, like, for example, today I called him up and he returned his call in less than 5 minutes. He's been very instrumental in getting the cases down. The only thing that we're going to need, I'd be honest with you, where we're having trouble right now is weedy lots. I know that all of you have seen a lot of weedy lots. And what we're going to need from the city council is for us to go and put something like $15,000, $20,000, or $25,000, send somebody to go clean the lots and he can put what they call a lien on the property. Because the fact of the matter, we can put red tags upon red tags upon red tags, and they don't even pay attention. Those weedy lots are civil penalties, they're not criminal penalties, so there's no way we can enforce them. The only thing we can do as a city is clean them up and put a lien, so if they ever sell their property, they have to take care of the lien before that. But I would say we've reduced a lot of the cases that we have. The only thing we have are weedy lots that people don't want to pay attention to, and we're going to have to go out there and sell ourselves and clean them up and put a lien on them. But right now I can say that I can honestly call him, and he can basically, like today, call me back in 5 minutes. He'll return the call, and we've reduced a lot as far as the criminal, what I call the speeding and all these other things. We reduced that docket quite a bit. The only thing we need help from you all is on the weedy lot issue, because that's a civil matter, and we really need monies to go send somebody, or maybe have your department go send somebody to clean it up and then put a lien on it. With that said, I'll turn it over to John, but he's done a fantastic job. I'll be honest with you, our docket has come down, and every time I call him, he calls me back within an hour or within a day.
Mr. Villarreal, just to let you know that we are already working on that, and there are some fundings for you, so we're working forward on that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
But I'll be honest with you, Mr. Qua, the problem is that you put a red tag, another red tag, another red tag, and people go, yeah, I'm guilty. So I'm guilty, and what? You know. And the fact of the matter, until we can go out there and put a lien on their properties, and eventually, if they sell the properties, we'll get our money back. But that's the problem we have right now, that all these penalties are civil. Now, on the criminal side, the speeding, the this, the that, this guy's done a fantastic job.
Thank you,
Do
sir.
we have any individuals that do community hours, Judge, that could also clean those lots?
Well, the problem we have right now is this, and this is the problem we have. So with COVID right now, we're a little hesitant to give community hours because, let me give you a case. Let's say we send somebody to go and go do community hours to go clean a lot. And then all of a sudden he gets COVID and he says, I got it over there in the community where we're working together. So I've sent a few people to the water department, to be honest, to your water department to do community service. But the problem is right now, we're hesitant till this
So then we
COVID.
should just send one to that lot then? All right, no, go ahead.
Well, the problem is this, okay?
Go ahead.
So let me tell you the problem with sending people to do community service at the lot. Okay, so let's say we send them out there, you put them with a weed eater, all of a sudden something hits and then goes into his eye, now he's at the hospital, who's gonna pay for that?
Yeah.
And I'd rather have them in for example, the water plant. This is what you have to do, these are the procedures, these are the masks, these are everything. But the danger is always when you send them out there, and whose equipment are they gonna use? So if they use equipment, let's say for example, then they put something in their eye or they hurt themselves, you always look at that side. So to me, the easiest thing is clean them up and put a lien. I don't have a problem sending a community service to a water department where say, this is what you're gonna do, this is a mask, these are the goggles, this is what you have to do. Getting instructed by somebody, but just go out there, clean a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. And let's say he gets bitten by a rattlesnake.
But to tag on to that idea, it's holding the property's owners responsible.
Correct.
And so if we were to send people to do community service to these lots to clean them out, we're not holding the property owners responsible, and that's what we want to do. We also want to try and address the downtown area and picking up buildings up to code and citing people on that matter too, because we do have a beautiful downtown area. But these are all ideas that we would like to discuss, and first and foremost, I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity, and I promise I will not let you down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I agree, as far as liens, by all means, that definitely would be the next step in making sure that people that have those issues, that they have to pay for.
And it's like Don is
service.
saying, let's say you have a property downtown that's kind of run down, you put a thing out there, they don't do it, well, we send somebody to fix it, or do whatever it needs, put a lien on it, and if it gets sold, we get our money back. But what happens is, I can tell you, how many times have you seen red tags on, and they come to me, what are we gonna do? I say, pues, what are we gonna do? You know, I can't put them in jail, I can't do anything. I can tell them they need to pay, but if they don't wanna pay, I can't force them, simply put.
Yes.
It basically has no teeth from a legal perspective. It has a teeth from a civil perspective. Right, Mr. Polk?
That's correct.
Okay. So at this time, do we entertain a motion?
I so move, Mayor.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Ramirez
Second.
on item 8A.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
And hopefully we can get those weedy lots in order. Give us some, and get the money to somebody in the city and say, go clean this one. This guy will put all the liens we
It's
need.
going to be under Mr. Milan's department. It's going to be under Mr.
Whoever
Milan's
it's under,
department.
but at the end of the day, once it gets done, we can actually put liens and maybe start cleaning up our property.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for everything.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Appreciate it. Next item is 3 resolutions. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve Resolution 2021-26, authorizing the Deputy City Manager, Fire Chief, to submit the city's application for the Texas Border Zone Grant Program.
Yes, Mayor, the chief is applying for a $53,000 grant, and the resolution needs to continue with that, and the chief's got more information on that.
Yes, this is the same grant that we got the boat a couple of years ago, the border zone grant. It's another opportunity we have to get more equipment and more stuff. We're planning to get a Zodiac boat. It's a smaller one version. It's basically for 2 feet of water, basically for residential and floods, and as well as equipment that we basically still need more for the fire department. Like I said, this grant is there's no match, it's 100% awarded, able awarded. So it's the same type of grant as we did it 2 years ago.
Okay. Entertain a motion at this time. Or any questions?
I so move, Mayor, on item 3A.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Escobedo,
I'll second the motion.
second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item is 4, letter A, discussion and possible action on the engineering proposals for project number 2020-07, repairs and improvements to the water treatment plant, number 1, and project number 2020-09, city hall modifications funded by the 2020 CO bonds.
Chief.
Yes, Mayor, these are the two of the projects that didn't go through. One was the improvements, and the other one was the other project that was going to be started again through the whole process. So it's just to close them up and shut them down, and that way we can start from scratch.
Okay, so the motion would be what here?
It would be a motion to reject all proposals, and then whoever's going to make the motion, just make sure that you mention the 2 projects, as they're stated there on the agenda. But it should be a motion to reject all proposals for project, and then you put them.
And this process will start again this coming,
Yes, Mayor and
January.
Commissioners. Yes, good evening. There were 9 projects that were RFQ'd back in December 2020. They were due at the end of January. These 2 projects in particular were put out there in case there was enough funding. I know the City Hall modification was, put out there just in case there was some funding, but there isn't. So we're requesting that those proposals be rejected. And on the water treatment plant, not enough funding was there, and we had to pay on some equipment. So those are not enough funds, and we need to reject also those proposals. There are 3 more projects that are pending that will be brought to you all in the coming month, which is the Public Works Building, the Boys and Girls Club, and the kennel. And that would take care of all the projects that were done under the RFQ back in December 2020.
okay. Entertain a motion at this time, or any questions
So
from Ms.?
on the engineering for the water treatment plant, are we going to start the whole process again?
Yes, sir, it's further down on the agenda. We will be submitting the RFQs for all the team, which would be a financial advisor, bond counsel, consulting engineer, to start the new process with the Texas Water Development Board. And it'll be all inclusive to include for a future growth of 20 years.
Let me just clear up, so that when the motion is made, my understanding on the water, last time it was discussed, that you all, it was a time limitation, you didn't have the time, but today I hear you saying it has to do with funding.
This is the 2020 CO bonds.
And the other reason I'm saying this for the motion, the way it's going to read, because, if it's funding or is it the time, that way?
The time, I think, was applicable to an application that had been submitted to the Texas Water Development Board.
Okay, but does it deal with this project or not?
The same site, different funding.
Okay. I just want, that way the motion can be very specific. Since you are rejecting possible people that made some bids, we need to be
Yeah,
specific.
these were RFQs just for the 2020 bonds.
So we're not applying for the grant anymore, we're going to use bond monies?
No, sir.
No, that's also on the, later on in the package for the new project.
There was $350,000 that were allocated to the old water treatment plant under the 2020 bonds. They were going to do some repairs, but in the time that the RFQ came in, there were certain expenses that were done, and I know I brought them before y'all approved them, which was one actuators and valves for $104,000, and I believe there was another one for about 50-some thousand. So that kind of depleted any funds. The type of funding that this project requires is in the millions, not in the thousands. The one that had been applied, that Attorney Villarreal is referring to, is a water development, drinking water state revolving fund. That had nothing to do con este.
Okay, I just want to clear it up because, you know, there was a letter that indicated that the city, it came to my email that the city had been approved. And I want to make sure that I do, the rejection is because of the funding and nothing else.
They had been approved on a project information form
Yeah, and
process.
again, all I'm trying to do is protect you from the vendors who did make their proposals.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So whoever's going to make the motion, I would be very specific, and I would, you know, as legal, request that it's a motion to reject all responsive proposals to the project, and then name the project, and then say that we're going to be funded under the 2020 CO bonds. That way there's no confusion where the money was coming from. So I would be very specific on your rejection of this proposal.
And I'm going to abstain, Mayor, on voting on this item.
Okay. Okay, so any other clarification for this item? Okay, so on this item, then, which are the other items that are referring back to this one? Because I know we talked about it last, it's been a while since was it last meeting or 2 meetings ago?
Yes.
It was a while back, yes.
The one that was talked a month ago had to do with the Texas Water Development Funding. It was an application that was submitted unknown to us, at least myself and I think Chief Castillo, until we received in January a letter. And at that time, we started that process. From the time that process began to it was due the full application, there was an inspection done at our water treatment plant that required us to start looking at our water loss aggressively.
Right.
And the time frame was not available there to continue that. We did have a conversation with Ms. Mireya Loy, and basically she recommended us to withdraw that and start all over again.
Which the process will be starting if the
Yeah, we
commission
have 3
approves this
items.
coming January for the same funding or additional funding, because that project is not a $350,000 project. Bottom line is you're talking about in the millions, so
And we're talking about at least 7-8
Right.
million.
it's not the 350 that prior we had.
I'm not sure why
Yeah.
350 was.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so at this time, do we entertain a motion? And make sure that the motion is as per legal.
Motion to reject all responsive proposals regarding project number 2020-07 and
2020-09.
09 as that we're going to be funded by the 2020 CO bonds. That way it's very specific.
Very specific. Do we get it, or commissioners, what do you want to do at this time?
So I'll try to, I guess repeat what Mr. Villarreal said, but, so I'll make a motion to reject proposals for 2020 CO bond projects, 2020-07 repairs improvements to water treatment plant number 1, and 2020-09 City Hall modifications.
Yeah, that works.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Ramirez. Do we have a second?
Commissioner Flores.
Flores,
Commissioner Flores, second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is item 4B, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for the Rio Grande City 4B EDC, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, these are some of the, they're attached in the memo, and you got several quotes on, one was a park, and I think some was lighting, and some of the stuff that Ms. Guillen put in there. If you have any questions, we'll answer those. That's also including some iPads for the members of the EDC board.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item or questions before we move on to this item? Yeah, it's 4B.
I move to approve item 4B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4B by Commissioner Flores. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 4C, discussion and possible action to authorize Deputy City Manager and City Attorney to enter all legal documents to acquire approximately 9.46 acres located at St. Ives property, Rio Grande City, Texas, from the RGC-4B EDC.
I gave you all the
That's
copies.
the handout that Ms. Garza gave me in the exhibit, and this is a special warranty deed for the property at St. Ives. And that's,
It already has the,
this already has also, I believe, gone through the EDC, and the legal has gone through this. Mr. Guerrero here I think he made some modifications or changes.
Correct.
And on this one, and it went through, so that's the first step to getting all those projects started with the CO monies for the public safety building and whatever agreement the city actually comes into with the school if that other building is to be done there at that point.
Okay. At this point, it's just getting the deed over to the city. Or legal already looked at it, so at this time, any questions for legal, or we entertain them?
We made the modifications, and obviously the most important part on this deed is the reverter clause, okay? And then the specification about the public
Safety
the building, public safety building, and the performing arts that the city will be working. So it's very specific as to those two things, the reverter clause and the wishes that you all have for this property.
Okay. We entertain a motion at this time, or any other questions for legal?
Mayor, motion to approve item 4C is presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4C by Commissioner Ramirez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item, 4D, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for the IT department, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, this is software for malware, and it's also a web filter for our system, so nobody can actually log in and hack the system or download stuff they're not supposed to and go into sites that they're not supposed to go into. The quotes are here. One's $6,800 and the other one's $3,000 plus for the filter. This is what the IT is recommending for the system, and he is here in the back if you all have any questions on that.
Only question I have, Mr. is noise, I understand all this malware and all that, but my question is in reference to a backup system in case the system crashes, and is there a way to, or is there a cloud, to hold all that information so we don't lose it?
Yeah, I'm actually looking into something of that nature.
Okay. So, but we don't currently have a system in place?
We are currently backing up, but it's on premise. It's not in the cloud.
Okay.
Can you explain a little bit about the web filter?
Yeah, that's the web filter. Basically, it filters out all unwanted websites.
IT's expensive.
And we need the updates, and that also includes support.
And IT security obviously is one thing that we need to make sure that we're the latest and greatest.
The other one is for the antivirus. We use Malwarebytes, and that's also a license for 2 years. Yeah.
The last thing we need is any
it's
hacking
expensive.
or any situations, right? All right. Any further discussion on this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Have a motion to approve item 4D by Commissioner Ramirez.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. Any further discussion?
fiscal.
It don't matter.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Y'all are too quick today. All right. Item 4E, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for the Rio Grande City Police Department, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, this is for eForce, and this is the software that we use at the police department. I think other agencies use it. I don't know if you all use it at the school. We've been using it for a while, and it's $13,380 for that system. It works very well, and if you have any questions, the Assistant Chief will be here to answer and get to feedback.
If you don't, and only because we have the same system, do you know, Chief, what we're paying per account?
eForce, actually, they had a representative come in today. The licensing for the CAT system is $2,500 each. RMS, I believe, is $1,500. So we're trying to see if they could lower the cost, because right now we have 40 licenses. 8 of them CAT, the rest are RMS. So if the city within the next couple of years grow, we're going to need to add more licenses. So we've been with eForce since November of 2011. So the gentleman that came in, Eric, I don't know his last name, he's going to speak to his boss to see if somehow or another they could lower the price for the future.
Even though we're at a smaller scale, but we're going through the same thing, we need some new accounts, and I know there's a difference between the continuous price for an account and opening a new one.
Yeah,
but I guess my question was, are they negotiable?
They said that they would try to work, and I told them, hey, we've been with you guys for 10 years, throw in a little 10-year anniversary pricing for us. But it is expensive, but their software, and you guys have it at the school. It's a really good software if you use it to its full potential.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I so move, Mayor.
Okay. Motion to approve item 4E by Commissioner Garza.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 4F. Discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for the Water Department and Planning Department, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, this is also from PUD and also planning. Some of these are the regular bills that come across as energy and some of the brush fees, along with the bucket truck from planning that needed to be repaired, and it was a little bit over, I think it was a little bit over $7,000 to repair that. We're going to be using that to put up all the holiday lights and everything that is ongoing for this year. But it's good to go, and we just need the approval to go ahead with it.
Okay. Got a question for Ms. Beas. I'm looking here at some of the expenses for some, I guess, new water meters. Are those same water meters that we're using currently, the digital water meters?
Yes, sir. Those are digital meters. The growth in the city has not stopped, even with the pandemic. I know we're reviewing another new subdivision for 107 lots. The cost comes from the developers, if they're residential subdivisions, and so that money comes from the fees that they pay, and then we inventory them so that they're available when they're needed.
Yes, and my question was more on the aspect of, I know we discussed last time about the water loss, and our question was, are those meters, since they're supposed to be smart meters, notifying the city or somebody in the city about maybe somebody putting a magnet on it or tampering with the water meter?
At the time that the notification is done is when they're doing the meter reading, when they're going by in the truck and the signal is picked up. Obviously, green is being read, and if it's the color red, then it's a meter that's probably has been locked. But if it's yellow, that means there's something wrong, whether it could be one of the transmitters that is damaged, or that there's a magnet, there's some tampering done. And so we have two persons that go around town and they do that, kind of monitoring the area. But they don't, at the time, let's say that somebody tampers with it, it will not at that time send a signal.
Right, okay.
But it's when the guys are monitoring throughout the city.
Are there any upgrades to that same system? Because, I mean, at this point, we have the basic, but is
They're
there
5 years
anything
old.
there in addition that has more features that can be better utilized for purposes of?
We have been in contact with the company,
Okay.
and there is an upgrade to the software. There's also the option to put down the radio antennas on our towers, water towers, so that the readings are picked up at a dedicated time instead of, the staff going out through the routes of picking up the readings.
All right.
That would be
See,
the
we
next
can look
step.
into all that and then come back and
Yes, sir.
present us with options and see what we can do.
We've called them to send us a proposal on it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. From Milan, anything?
Nothing, just repairs are for the bucket truck. It has served well, close to 3 years of use. It's saved approximately about $15,000 in rentals that the city, basically Public Works, used to pay in rentals. And it has served well. Obviously needed major repairs on the mechanical system for the lift, and that's about it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Milan. This time, do we entertain a motion? On item 4F? Have a motion to approve item 4F by Commissioner Garza,
Second.
second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item, 4G, discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluation summary to select an engineer for the wastewater treatment plant expansion and West Side Sewer Line funded by the North American Development Bank and the Texas Water Development Board, number 73874. Ms. Beas?
Yes. Mayor, Commissioners, this has been a kind of like a lengthy process, this RFQ. It is being monitored by two agencies, and so both have to be approving the process. You all have in your package the scores. Those were reviewed by Mr. Javier Torres at the North American Development Bank. I also gave Attorney Villarreal the instructions on the bidding, on the RFQ process. And so the RFQ process is that the city intend to select the highest scored firm. And so we're presenting the scores so y'all can do the official selection, so we can submit to to NetBank.
Okay. We entertain a motion at this time, or any questions, further clarification on this item?
My understanding is that the city wanted to have a workshop and interview the highest top three. That was
on the other one.
No, this is on the other ones. This
Yeah, this
is,
is on the other one.
This is on G, right?
No, the one that you're talking about is
H?
On the other proposals, which we did the financial advice, no, which one is it?
The council.
No.
it's on,
Okay.
It's the one of the drainage plan and the one of the Therefore plan.
Okay. So we're
because
doing.
this is going back to the same one that,
This is the one going back to the net bank.
This-
right, that we just rejected.
This were, at the very beginning, there was only, I think, two firms. You all officially rejected those proposals. I submitted like 4 different drafts to the North American Development Bank and RFQ until they finally accepted it. It was then forwarded to the Texas Water Development Board. They also approved it. And so we went out for the proposals, and we had this firms, 8 firms that submitted their qualification statements. You all scored, the scoring committee submitted the scores. We sent out the questionnaire that they also provided to their references, 5 references, and the references responded. Those were also tallied and also applied to this scoring. Everything was scanned and sent to the agency, NetBank.
And I believe that they set the criteria for the scoring. Those were different ones than the ones we've done in the past. And I think that came from NADBAC.
Yes, we did have a conversation, Chief Castillo and myself, with Javier Torres of NatBank.
Okay, so at this point, the staff recommends, as per the memo, moving on the highest scored engineering firm, which was Meldon and Hunt. At this time, do we entertain a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4G
4G.
by Commissioner Ramirez.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 4H. Discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluations to select an engineer for the thoroughfare plan, project number 2020-02, funded by the 2020 CO bonds. And it's 4H.
I believe those were three proposals that were submitted.
On the,
On-
yes,
on
the
the
thoroughfare
thoroughfare?
plan, it was 3.
Yeah.
The highest scoring was both Finley.
That's also the scoring sheet is here.
Yes, the scoring sheet I have.
You all have it on a different, packet in.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. The thoroughfare, which was 3 firms.
Yes, it was 3
And
firms.
the other one's in the back. Cobb Fendley was the
Was the
highest.
yes.
And at this point, those, that's a different RFQ than the one you just selected. So if you all want to meet with each one and interview them and then apply, your decision, you can do that. They're not, these are funded by the 2020 CO bonds.
So on the memo, you are recommending moving on the highest scored engineering firm?
Just because those are the scores, but it is at the discretion of the council if they.
If you all want to
but-
meet with them, if you
Yes,
all
but
want
are
to.
you recommending this, Ms. Beas, or are we not?
I do, sir. We are almost
Okay.
a year going into the bonds. The firm on the third floor, I think is probably
No, I just don't want to keep waiting around for this. We already done this for quite a bit, some time, and if the commission's ready to move on these items, well, let's move on. And if not,
And it is something very necessary toward the city and planning and the development. When we come across some streets and we need additional right-of-way because they are part of a future growth plan, transportation being one of the key components in all aspects of our community development, we need to have a tool in place in order to request additional right-of-way so we can be ready for future growth.
now, just for the record on this point, Mr. Villarreal, if for some reason we do select a firm and we don't come to the agreement with the terms of the contract, then what's the next phase at that point to expedite the process and not continue going
You
back?
can go
and-
to the second.
Okay, we can just move on, just for the record, to the second, or, okay.
As long as, right now, whoever makes a motion, you say that subject to legal reviewing the contract and approving.
Okay. All right. Entertain a motion at this time, or how do you wish to proceed, Commissioner?
Mayor, I move to approve Cobb Finley engineering firm,
Okay.
subject to council approving contract.
Okay,
Who are we approving?
Cobb Finley engineering firm.
Cobb Finley, Pastor. So
I
we have a
second.
motion by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is item 4I. Discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluations to select an engineer for the drainage plan study project number 2020-01, funded by the 2020 CO bonds. It's item 4I.
Again, Mayor, this is another CO, 2020 CO bond project.
Yes.
I think we desperately need it. The project description calls to make the study even 3 miles into our ETJ to determine how much water is coming, from watersheds that begin outside the county but flow through the city. In order to prepare a drainage plan, they need to study that. And we have a lot of localized flooding, and we're between two bodies of water, the river and the creek.
And absolutely, this is huge as we continue to grow. And this is something that we need to be in collaboration with the county's drainage plan as well to make sure we're moving water to its proper destination the fastest way. Now, you all recommend the highest scored engineering firm as well, which on this one is Half and Associates. So any other questions? Are we ready to move on this item? If so,
Move to approve item 4I, Mayor.
okay, we have a motion to approve item 4I by Commissioner Flores. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The next item is item 4J. Discussion and possible action to approve the proposal from the Warren Group Architects for the Public Safety Building Project number 2020-06, funded by the 2020 CO bonds.
Yes, Mayor, this is the proposal from the Warren Group, and Ms. Warren has proposed a flat fee. This has also gone through legal, and Ms. Warren is here today if you all have any questions on that proposal.
This is to approve the proposal that Ms. Warren submitted for a flat fee of $427,000 for the services. Some of the services that is not included is the geotech, and we will be having to procure that one separately.
Okay.
We felt that the fixed price, I think it came out like at a 7%.
Yes, but I'm including civil engineering services, which typically that takes over, in any standard contract, to 8 or 9%. So we're also including all the interiors, furniture consultation, landscape, signage, that typically any other company charge additional services.
So give us the great news, Ms. Warren. How are things going over there? What you see, what's the vision?
Well, we're very excited about the opportunity. The only thing that my insurance company does not allow me to cover is geotechnical engineering services. Under my fee will still be coordinating with them. The only thing you will have to do is pay them separately.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Warren, or are we ready to entertain a motion at this time?
So move, Mayor, approve item 4J.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4J by Commissioner Ramirez. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Warren. Look forward to working with you. Thank you. The next item is 4K, discussion and possible action to authorize staff to procure engineering services for water and first-time wastewater project 2021-01, funded by the 2020 CO bonds.
Mayor, so in the budget for the 2020 COs, there were several water and sewer projects identified, and one of those was providing sewer all the way to Alvarez Road. That has been taken care of by the NAD Bank funding. So that kind of frees up that money to address some gaps in the city that don't have sewer. And I know you have instructed staff to look at all of this and so that there is no place in the city that doesn't have sewer service. The areas in the memo are identified as those areas. We will be targeting the ones that have more homes because we will have an immediate return on the connection. I know that some of this, like the one on Reina Street, will require a lift station. The one on Santo Niño will probably require a small manhole with a grinder pump. If you're familiar with this terrain, if you go down Santo Niño, then it goes down into the kind of like the riverbank. In order to bring up that sewer, we need that pump. The one on Reina Street, that lift station is critical. That area along that road between Fairgrounds and up to 14 acres has no sewer. Once we put that lift station and the sewer lines, we'll be able to further develop all along Eisenhower and up to the 14 acres. I know that several people have met with you requesting sewer service. It's holding back some of their improvements, or if they're in a critical situation health-wise. So the reason we're requesting RFQ, because in the original RFQ that we went out, there was no water and sewer projects for first-time service. And it will be, I know that funding available is about $234,000. Hopefully we can match some of the American Rescue funds so that we can do, if not all of them, the most of them.
Okay. And we are focusing on the ones that are going to maximize the return on investment or quick return on that investment.
Yes, sir. Two areas that I have not addressed in this memo that do not have sewer service, that would be West Ridge and Valle Rico. And the reason is because those are immense projects in and of itself, because of the amount of homes, the street repairs that would be involved. So unless y'all have some money there, we will put them in there.
That could potentially be the, with the additional infrastructure, with the medical development that would be in that area, we can potentially tap into any of those homes in that area if we're already maximizing some of that return on investment or the infrastructure that we are potentially considering.
Right,
Because we're talking about 40 acres there, and that is our water and sewer.
Yes, sir.
In that area, so we could potentially utilize or tap into, would we not, or am I off base here?
Well, they already can run a sewer line there from the development that just occurred where the new motor bank is and the pharmacy, and they can just move it further down, or they can tap in and go further north. It all ends up at the same with the lift station of Los Garcias. But I was hoping, this project, we could go out some after that infrastructure bill that they're passing federal-wise.
Good.
Because these are big projects. These are the ones that are presented on the memo are maybe, 12, 18 homes, and all in one road. It's not as much, and some of these roads are not even paved.
All right. We entertain a motion at this time. Any further questions for Ms. Veas?
I so move on item 4K.
We have a motion to approve item 4K by Commissioner Escobedo. We have a second. Second by Commissioner Garza. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is item 4L.
Yes. Mayor Commissioners, 4L, 4M, and 4N relate to the same project that you all were referring to about getting a new water treatment plant. Basically, the old one would be...
Okay, so for the record, we're considering item 4L, 4M, and 4N.
They're related, yes. They're all the same
related,
project.
so let's consider it in one motion at this time.
Yes, because one is for financial advisor, the other one is for bond counsel, and then the other one is for engineering services.
Yeah. This will be a team that will be made up by these professionals and also staff, and of course Castillo, city attorneys, to submit the application or what they call the project information form by March, the beginning week of March. We're looking at 20-year goal planning. We're looking at areas where the old river pumps are. In the 2010 flooding that we had, there was an expansion of the river width there, and it made that area more shallow. We want to make sure that we are able to pump in water, good water, because because the river creates like a bowl, the current kind of pushes all the debris into that area. We do need to address the areas of the water pressure throughout, not only with the line going to the east, but to make sure that all our tanks are able to continue and maintain pressure of chlorinated water. So all of that will be taken into effect to do the long-term planning and make sure that the improvements to this plant will be a 5 MGD for the next 20 years.
And all these items have to do with requesting qualifications, right?
Yes, and that was one of the items that was brought up by Texas Water Development Board with the application that had been withdrawn, that we didn't have these contracts in place.
We're discussing 4L and 4M.
M and N. For L, which
M,
it's,
yeah.
we want to approve the request for qualifications.
And they're regarding the same issue with the previous agenda item?
Yes.
I want to abstain on these two items.
No.
Was it not, or did I confuse?
The other ones, were 2020 bonds.
The other ones are the 2020 bonds, these don't have.
This is to submit an application to the Texas Water Development Board.
These are not the bonds.
My correction. So no, they're not the same.
Ready for motion?
Okay, do we entertain a motion at this time, or?
So move, Mayor, approve items 4L, 4M, 4N.
Okay, we have a motion to approve items 4L, M, and N by Commissioner Ramirez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 4O, which is discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of CID Extreme Skid Steer Piston Motor Brush Cutter Attachment from the CO 2020 bonds.
Yes, Mayor, this is a request from staff. They attempted to clean the old water treatment plant. We've been getting reports from law enforcement that there's some illegal activity. The recent rains in the summer created, large brush. We did try to get a contract to clean it all. It was quite expensive at $45,000. Staff believes that with this attachment to the Bobcat that they have, they can be able to clean it. I know we provided a video, it's in the email. Oh, there it is, okay. They tried what they could to clean, but towards the back, along the ponds and the sludge ponds, it's not, they weren't able to get in there with the backhoe or the excavator. The saplings, tree saplings that are there right now, it's not as thick as those trunks that you see there, but we feel that this attachment will be able to, clean up the area and make sure that there's the illegal activity is curbed.
We have a skid steer?
No, she
No,
wants to purchase.
we have the Bobcat, sir, but we're requesting purchase of that attachment.
I'm assuming they'll include some type of training or how to take care of all this equipment.
Yes, we
Making
have.
sure we have the staff trained.
We have very good
accordingly.
staff right now that are willing to take on a lot of the projects themselves to save money.
It's the town. It's like those grinders, the standing.
Yes, it is.
I know that Hector's excited because he can also use it on some drain ditches that are quite narrow, and that'll help him also to keep them clean.
Yeah. All right. We entertain a motion at this time.
I so move item 4O.
Have a motion to approve item 4O by Commissioner Escobedo.
And second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. Yes? Or did it? Okay, so Commissioner, you all have it. Thank you. All right, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 5 City Managers Report. Letter A, discussion and possible action to declare certain items as surplus.
This, Mayor, this is items from the library and towers, mouse, keyboard, table, that they want to, I guess, they have no use for them anymore, they're kind of outdated. We just need to make sure that our IT cleans those machines and before we get, no longer use them, or maybe we can donate them to somebody that doesn't need them. So it's not that many. We're having an auction this weekend. If anybody wants to go look at the vehicles that are there, just let the public know. But this will be part of something later on in the future unless we find somebody that needs them. So that's a recommendation to make that surplus equipment so we can move it out.
Okay, we have a motion.
Motion to approve, Mayor, item 5A.
Okay, we have motion to approve item 5A by Commissioner Ramirez. Second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 6, planning, letter A, discussion and possible action to request a variance for wine and beer retailers off-premise license by Rolando Science for business located at 1110 East Highway 83, Rio Grande City, County of Star.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. This variance has got an extensive review by not only planning and zoning. We gave the opportunity to the school district to voice their opinion on this. It was transferred back to the city. The city ran it through planning and zoning. Planning and zoning decided, well, it is a similar situation with the Hanamart, El Tigre, or HEB itself. So within distance, it's an off-premise. It's a to-go. It's not a bar. It's not a to drink on location. So at this point, it has been recommended for approval by planning and zoning.
Okay. And is this a new business or an existing business?
It's a new business. There's been several businesses. It's between the Renner Center and the Metro by T-Mobile. They're close to Burger King. And obviously it's within 1,000 feet from the school district property. And again, there's similar business like that, like the Hanamart, just across the street from the fire department, which is school property itself too. Again, it's to go. And the variance has been recommended for approval.
Okay. We entertain a motion at this time.
I so move item 6A.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 6A by Commissioner Escobedo. Do we have a second? Have a second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 6B, discussion and possible action on preliminary and final plat approval for replat of lots 13, 14, and 15 of Stonegate Commercial Center Phase 2 subdivision.
Mayor, these are commercial lots there by the nursing home on the Stonegate residential commercial area. They're just north of the hospital. And there are some lots at the end of that street that were originally commercial use, but the new owners, they want to develop some nice apartments like the ones here in the back of Dr. Ramirez Elementary. They want to do an apartment complex, but again, because of the plat was dedicated for commercial use only, I brought it to the table for planning and zoning to decide whether they give the subdivision with multifamily use only. And so they did recommend. We had a couple of hearings. We gave the community the opportunity to hear it. We had a couple of publications on September 29 and October 12 in the local newspaper to for anybody in the community to express their opinion, and nobody showed up to the meetings.
Yeah. Okay. We entertain a motion at this time.
I so move item 6B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 6B by Commissioner Escobedo. Second by Commissioner Garza. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye. Motion passes. Next item. Thank you, Mr. Milan. Next item is 7, contracts and agreements. Letter A, discussion and possible action to enter into an agreement with the Warren Group Architects for the Public Safety Building, project number 2020-06, funded by the 2020 CO bonds.
Yes.
Go ahead, yes.
Mayor and Commissioners, so you just approved the proposal, and now you're authorizing to enter into the agreement. I know that everything was reviewed by legal. I believe there's only a condition to make the effective date until January, so we can have time to process the transfer of the property that was also taking action on prior.
We entertain a motion at this time.
I so move.
I move to approve item 7A, Mayor.
And you add effective January 1st?
Yes.
Added effective January the 1st.
I couldn't hear that.
Yes, she said it's, she motioned.
I move to approve item
With an
7A with an
Okay.
effective date of January the 1st,
Okay, we have a
2020.
motion to approve by Commissioner Flores, second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 7B, discussion and possible action to enter into an agreement with the Texas A&M Agrilife Extension Service for a technical assistance grant of $60,000 for the Rio Grande City Comprehensive Plan.
Mayor Commissioner, we've been working with Agrilife, Texas Extension Services, and we've been able to secure a $60,000 grant to do the comprehensive plan. The focus group has already been established, and it's called Adelante Rio Grande. We have several members of the community to work on this comprehensive plan. Public hearings will be held on the 25th and 26th. This comprehensive plan is the cornerstone for our land use map and zoning, something that we have been trying to establish for some time. A comprehensive plan of this nature would probably take about almost $150,000-160,000, but we've been able to do it through Agrilife and Texas A&M. I know Emily is on the. Is she still on?
Yes, she's on.
I don't know if you want to share or you want to say something, because it's exciting. We've had 2 meetings. The public will be encouraged to participate as to what they want to preserve, what they want to add, what they want to eliminate. And we sometimes feel we know what the community needs, but it's nice to hear directly from them as they put in their ideas on all this, their sticky note ideas on the boards. All of this will be taken together, and Texas A&M, through their urban planning department, will probably.
There, I don't know.
Emily, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, I am with Texas A&M Agrilife Extension, and we've been working closely with Elisa and Gilbert and the task force, and I know that we're all excited to hear from the community and work on this plan over the next year and build this comprehensive plan with everybody in the community.
Commissioner, Mayor, this is obviously, this is something that we've been thinking, obviously trying to budget for it, and obviously it's an excellent opportunity to make it happen. Before, we had some proposals, but this is nothing. This is great. We're getting money actually to do it, and this is it.
All right, are we ready to entertain a motion at this time?
So move.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ramirez.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is 7C, discussion and possible action to enter into a Capstone agreement with the Texas A&M University System for $60,000 to develop the Rio Grande City Comprehensive Plan.
This is in relation, sir, so the Texas Agrilife provides the grant. In turn, we're passed through and then funding the Texas A&M target cities so they can prepare the plan. Right now, part of the core group is Angelina, who is part of the marketing, and of course, Gilbert, which is the end user of all things with the plan. We do have Ms. Norma McKee, Javier Canales, Mr. Commissioner Alberto Escobedo, Dalinda Guillem, I believe we have anyone else, Angelina? But it's very exciting, like I say, Mayor, to finally bring all of this together. And so this is a capstone agreement where the students themselves of the urban planning of Texas A&M will provide the plan. They will be presenting to council, and so you will see a plan of the whole use of the city, how it's being developed and where it's going.
Okay. All right, do we entertain a motion at this time?
That's the Mayor.
We have a motion to approve. Estando riendo. Motion to approve by Commissioner Ramirez. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Next item is item 7D, and if no one objects, I would like to move this item to executive in order to have answer some questions or legal questions. No objections. Next item is 7E, discussion and possible action to enter an agreement with Half and Associates for street improvement project number 2020-074, funded by 2020 CO bonds.
So, Mayor Commissioners, this is the first 20 CO bond project that we will actually sign a contract to move forward with the paving. You've all done a lot of work with identifying some of the streets. We know that Garcia Street is priority to maintain the flow of traffic within the Main Street area. The last meeting, representatives of HAF made a presentation to you all to explain how they were proposing on developing the matrix, so you all could prioritize the streets and come back to you all with the plan on how to move forward with the paving of the streets. So we're excited. We're ready to move on the very first 2020 CO project.
Okay. Do we entertain a motion at this time, or?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to move item 7E.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 7E by Commissioner Escobedo.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand or say aye. Motion passes. Next item is, okay, we already took care of item 8A, so it's item 9, executive session, chapter 551, point, I don't see a point there, Texas Government Code section 551.071, and section 551.072, and section 551.074. It is 7:17 p.m.
She's muted.
Yeah.
I'm not muted, I can hear you.
Let me call this meeting back to order. We're back from executive session, and it's 9:14. We'll go back to the agenda, the regular agenda, which was 7D, and let me put it on the record that the Mayor Joel Villarreal did not partake in the discussion or decision made on this agenda item. And the agenda item reads discussion and possible action to amend the Grande garbage contract. Do I have a motion?
No, there's going to be a discussion, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a discussion?
Yes, well, there was a request by Mr. Randis from Grande Garbage in regards to his contract or the rates that he currently charges for the trash pickup. And again, there was some discussion about the rates. We guess customers currently pay $12.97 for the first container, and for two cans they pay $19.36. And we did some studies. Staff, I guess, did some studies around the neighboring cities, and we found out that Zapata, for example, charges $21.65 for one container. Roma is at $22 for one container. City of Mission, $18. Escobar is $27 for one container. So in discussions, we understand and we're not against adjusting those rates. We feel that Mr. Hernandez has not requested a rate increase in the last 10 or 12 years. He's been very patient, very fair, and provided a great service to our community. So with that being said, we are not opposed to a rate increase that is fair. And I don't know if anybody else has any more comments or concerns at this point.
What we have recommended is that our deputy city manager and legal look into it, and we would come back and make that decision after they will look into all the information that needs to be done. Correct?
Yes.
So the motion.
Is that the motion?
No, that's just a
comments. It would be the comment that we're asking for our.
Yes. If there's no more.
Deputy city manager.
Let me just add that you all had some questions, legal questions regarding the contract.
Yes, sir.
There were no decisions that have been made in any way, form, or shape. But the only questions that we discussed were legal questions.
Correct.
Regarding the contract that was signed and then extended. So I believe that we answered you the parameters of how you can proceed legally or not.
Correct.
But no decisions have been made in any way, form, or shape.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that is correct. Council will give us a lot of guidance and insight just to make sure we stay within the legal parameters of what we can kind of do based on the contract that already exists with Grande Garbage. So at this point, if there's no other discussion or comments, I would like to make a motion. So my motion will be to authorize the Deputy City Manager, Mr. Castillo, and legal counsel, together with our finance director or department, and Grande Garbage, Mr. Hernandez, to negotiate and amend the contract to include the rate increase that both parties agreed to. That is my motion.
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Ramirez and a second by Mr. Escobedo. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand.
You say aye.
All those opposed, left hand. Motion passes. We'll move to the executive session agenda. I left my
It's right here.
my copy and
I think it's right here.
We'll move to item A, consultation with city attorney related to possible lease, sale, or purchase of real property that fell under section 551.072 real property and section 551.071 Texas Government Code. Any discussion?
No, I so move, that is 9A, correct?
Yes, 9A.
I motion to authorize.
10A.
10A, I'm sorry, we reconvened from executive, so it's 10A.
Oh, it's 10A. I so move motion to authorize deputy city manager and legal to negotiate the purchase of 1409 West Canales Brothers Avenue.
I have a motion by Mr. Escobedo. Do I have a second?
Second motion.
And I have a second by Mr. Ramirez. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Item passes. We'll move on to item B, consultation with the city attorney related to certain legal matters regarding possible interlocal agreement with Rio Grande City Gruya ISD, section 551.071 Texas Government Code.
I so move motion to authorize the deputy city manager and legal to start negotiation with the school of rgc-tv regarding the transfer of property to Fort Ringgold Park and Buffalo Park.
Okay, before we continue, I know that Commissioner Garza's reading off item 9B. That's supposed to be item 10B, correct?
Yes, 10.
Discussion and possible action.
Right.
Yes,
So
Because
that
it's,
is to be-
I'm sorry, yes, I'm reading the,
Yeah, just to make sure we approve the correct item.
yeah,
It's 10B.
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 because it's after executive.
Okay.
I had a motion by Mr. Escobedo. Do I have a second?
Do we need to repeat the question? or-
No, that's fine, as long as it's correct.
Okay.
Ms. Flores, second.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We'll move on to item 10C, consultation with city attorney relating to personal matters, section 551.071 Texas Government Code. Any discussion?
No. No action.
There'll be no action for item 10C. Anything to add to the meeting?
No, sir.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
I second.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. This meeting is adjourned.